Theology is a desert filled with demons. In The Prayers and Tears of Jacques Derrida, the post-structuralist views on apophatic or negative theology are examined by the philosopher John D. Caputo. Remember that in previous videos on this book, I've talked about Derrida's opinions on apophatic theology. Like I said, this is basically negative theology. We figure out what God is by determining what God is not. God is not mortal, therefore God is immortal. God is not temporary, therefore God is eternal, etc. You can see the obvious flaws with this oversimplified logic, but I don't need to get into them for the purposes of this video. So one of my videos on this book was about Derrida essentially using post-structuralist deconstruction to theoretically save the name of God. My buddy Foucault uses deconstruction to deconstruct religion, God, and the name of God. Unlike Foucault, though, Derrida uses deconstruction to make God basically indeconstructible. That's a hell of a word. I love it. Indeconstructible means that it cannot be deconstructed. He saved the name of God. To Derrida, God is indestructible. There are many names for God in the Bible. Derrida focuses on a few particular names, including God is I am, God is God, God is I. You could arguably even combine those and say that the name of God is I am God. As you can see with this fucking Dr. Seuss'ery, God just is. God is God. God has no name. The name of God is God. I know that this all sounds paradoxical as fuck, but Derrida essentially saves the name of God by showing that God has no name. He saves God from deconstruction by saving the name of God. By saving the name of God from deconstruction, Derrida is not trying to make everything safe. He takes us on an epic metaphorical quest through the desert of negative theology. It's a phenomenally dangerous journey. We have no safety of a desert guide and no prayer that knows our destination. We are not going on a stereotypical hero's journey to the noble Greco-Germanic promised land where we will be bathed by the words of eternal elemental power. Derrida's voyage ends in what he calls a chora, Khora. I like this word. This word has many different meanings, but Derrida is likely using the ancient Greek word that in semiotics describes a material space that gives a place for being. So Derrida's epic quest through the desert of negative theology ends not in Elysium, but in a void where the nature of being exists. He says that this chora is disturbed by demons of every sort. Derrida's journey takes us to a void where the nature of being and the name of God are, but demons are always trying to break in to kill God and being. In a way, God is an essential aspect of the universe like being, to Derrida. However, they are eternal in spite of them always being in danger of being destroyed by demons. Satan's minions are eternally attempting to murder God and being, but we fight back to save God and being from demonic death in a cyclical cosmic struggle. The battle is what makes God and being eternal. So, apophatic or negative theology is super complex, to say the fucking least. Caputo bravely attempts to voyage into the endlessly shifting sands. Our goal is to discover what God is through figuring out what God is not. God is not mortal, therefore God is immortal, etc. Derrida uses post-structuralist deconstruction to paradoxically save the name of God from deconstruction. God is indeconstructible. Derrida saves God's name by showing that God doesn't need a name because God just is, just like being. Being just is. God is in the Heideggerian sense in that he talks about being in his book Being and Nothingness, but that's really too complex to get into here. But that's the way I use it basically, and that's the way Derrida uses it, I think, as well. Anyway, so we follow Derrida on his epic quest through the desert of apophatic theology. Our journey concludes in a Cora infested with demons. It is a material place of being that is eternally under threat from Satan's minions, who are battling to eradicate God and being. This endless cosmic struggle is what allows God and being to exist. God and being are both paradoxes. However, that's not only good and inevitable, it's an essential paradox. Theology is a desert filled with demons.